Mara, what are you doing? Why did you think it was such a good idea to punch someone like me in that way? All I was doing was coming over to your place for the first time with Adam to see you face to face and talk to you about us getting married. Why? You're asking me why I'd do something like that to you? Oh, that's because someone, I mean you, was trespassing in my house behind my son, so of course I had every right using violence against you. I have no husband to protect me anymore, so I had to fend for myself and make sure you weren't going to cause any problems. Also, I want you to stop talking to me like I'm someone you know, all right? Even having to think of you as being someone who's a part of my family makes me feel sick to my stomach. So, Mara, are you really that opposed to me getting married to your son, Adam? When we talked over the phone before, you never acted like you hated me in any way or that you were upset about me being with him. You know for a fact that I oppose it now. Back then when we talked, I didn't know enough about you, but now? Who would ever want their son to marry a used-up whore? So you're not happy about the fact that this will be my second time getting married then? Yes. I'm sure that this time will be the same as the last. You'll become bored of Adam and leave him just like your last husband to go and find someone new to be your husband, right? After all, you are the type of whore that can never last with a single man and must always go out to find yourself a new one. That wasn't the reason for me having to leave my last husband, though. So how about instead of punching someone first, you listen to what they have to say to you about the person they are? I'm not going to waste my time listening to whatever useless spiel you have saved up to try and fool me. I already learned everything I needed to know about you. And that is that you are a woman loaded with problems that I will not let my son be exposed to. I'm sure you're the one responsible for your husband having to leave you last time, right? Why do you feel as though you already know everything about me already? I am a pro at judging other women and their life stories just by looking at them. And also, when it comes to you, you're not even working a proper job, right? No, I'm working a proper job. I just don't have to leave my house if I don't want to work. You must know that my son is in the middle of finding himself a job, right? Are you working a job right now that'll allow you to take care of him while he's out searching for a new job? As of right now, I'm the one supporting the two of us. I know that. And you're only doing that because my son is putting his best foot forward in finding the perfect job for himself. Do you think that because you're the only one with a job right now that you are better than Adam? No, I don't think that at all about myself. I find it pretty rare that a son's mother would be totally fine with his wife supporting him. Well, we're not going to talk any further about something like that. I'm not actually okay with you supporting him as his wife, and I don't want you married to him at all. I will never let my son be with a woman who's already used up and has nothing left to give. If me punching you has opened your eyes to that fact, then never come around me and my family ever again, you whore! You're not regretting your actions at all, are you? You think I'd regret punching you? I found it quite pleasing hitting a used-up hag like you.
Hey, Liz, can you please stop getting so worked up over what happened? My mom has always been that kind of woman. So, you know...
You're asking me not to be worked up over something as serious as what happened? What the hell do you mean she's just that kind of person, Adam? I was punched by your mom. Are you telling me she acts like that towards all kind of people then? Not just me?
That's not what I meant. And no, I get that she hit you. I totally get that it probably hurt a bit. But, well, you wouldn't want to ruin things between us, would you? So please, just forgive her for what she did to you. I'm sure it'll never happen again. And that she'll get used to me being with you very soon.
Why am I supposed to be the one forgiving her for something like that when she's going to do that again at any time? I was the one that got assaulted by that woman. Are you not worried at all about how I feel right now?
What? No. Of course I'm really worried about you, Liz. I'm also sure that you are very shocked by what happened. So I wanted to come and calm you down a little. I'm not asking you to let her get away with something like that. all right?
This isn't even about me being shocked by what she did, though. This is about how she wouldn't even give me a chance by listening to what I had to say and just resorted to violence right off the bat. I feel I might have to tell the police about what happened between her and I.
Why do you think you need to do something as unnecessary as that? Telling the police? I don't think that'll help our situation any. I think you're just taking things a little too far by doing that. You're not actually going to talk to the police about what my mom did, right?
You think that would be me taking this way too far? What the heck are you even going on about, Adam? I was just punched by your mother when I came into her house with you. And you're going to say that wasn't her taking things way too far? Adam, are you actually on your mom's side in all of this? Because that's really what you're making this look like right now.
I'm not on anyone's side right now, Liz. But...
Hold up, you should be on my side right now, Adam. You saw me get punched by your mom for no reason at all. Also, right now, your mom thinks that I'm some kind of used-up whore for some reason. Why did you not step in and try to clear things up with her about that?
What? Well, hold on, Liz. She's not wrong when she says that.
You don't think her calling me a whore is wrong? What the actual frick, Adam?
Well, you have been with another man before me, right? I forgot what the reason was for you and your ex getting a divorce and all, but...
Is that right? I am completely shocked right now. What you just said to me? I think I'm going to have to call this marriage thing with you off, Adam. You don't even seem to know a thing about me still, and we've been together for years now.
Huh? What? Call our marriage off? You'd never do that to me, right? Hold your horses now, Liz. Why do you think you have to end things with me right now? I understand that I might not be the best pillar of support for you at times, but even still...
I'm sorry, but this just isn't going to work for me anymore. The way you think of me, it's just not something I'm going to accept from someone who I'd make my husband. I'm going to go talk to the police about what your mom did, and then I'm going to throw away the marriage forms we had filled out.
Why? Why are you going to do that?
I can see that you're only thinking about yourself right now, and I'm not having any of that. I'm sure you don't see things that way, but it's the truth.
But even if we're not going to be engaged to one another anymore, you still love me as your boyfriend, right? You just want to see how things will pan out for a little bit here. And you'll still be my girlfriend, right?
Nope. You and I are breaking up.
Huh? Wait a second, Liz. I'm not going to allow you to leave me like that. Why do you think you have to break up with me?
Because you are a self-centered loser who doesn't care about how I feel anymore. I'm sure the only reason you still even want to be with me now is because without me, you'd never be able to join my company, right?
No, it's not just that.
I already get it now. I get what you and your mom are about, and I'm not sticking around for it. Goodbye forever now.
Hold on for just a second.
Mara, I'm no longer going to be getting married to Adam now. I just thought it'd be kind of me to let you know that this is the way things have ended up. Great! Hearing from you that you're going to do that makes me very happy. I don't have to worry myself too much anymore thinking about how a whore like you could have been a part of my family. So now, be aware that you are never allowed anywhere near my family ever again. And of course, that also means no more meeting with Adam anymore, all right? All right. Since even you're asking that from me now, then I'm definitely not ever going to go around Adam again. And if you try to get Adam to do anything to me, I'll make you pay for it. He is a kind man, after all, and if he was to side with you after this, I'd have a really hard choice to make. Of course, I'm not going to do anything to get him to go against you. I'm not going to even talk to Adam anymore. I will hold true to my promise that he and I are through, and I will not be talking with any of you anymore. It's great to see that a whore like you at least has somewhat of a head on your shoulders. I'm happy to see that. But Liz, do remember that I really hate women that don't know how to treat their man right. When it comes to me, before my husband passed away, I spent every second of my life devoting myself to him and only him. So seeing someone like you who finds it fun to sleep around with all kinds of men and move from one to another looking for marriage as a totally disgusting thing. Why are you starting to say that I sleep around with other men now as well? You happen to be divorced by your last husband, so I'm aware of what the reason for that was for. He divorced you because you were sleeping with other men, right? And so I'm never going to let my important little man be in the arms of someone as unfaithful as you. You don't have to worry yourself with me anymore. I was never planning on marrying Adam for what little money he has or anything like that anyway. Now just remember, Mara, that after this, even if you try once to sway me back into marrying Adam, it's not happening. And you're not going to regret me not wanting to marry him anymore, right? Why do you think I'd ever regret him not ending up with you? I'm so happy to see you leaving that I might be grinning for days. From here on out, I'm going to help him find a proper woman to be married to. Someone who's never been married before and is willing to give everything for Adam. Is that right? Well then, good luck finding a woman for him like that. Goodbye forever, you disgusting loser.
Mom, this is all your fault, Mom. Why did you end up having to punch Liz like that?
I'm so sorry, Adam. That was a complete shock for all of us. But listen, Adam, I did all that for the sake of protecting you, all right? I know for a fact that there are better women in this world who are a lot better for you.
All you did was cause bigger problems for me. It's all because of you, Mom, that my future is ruined.
Adam? Did you really want to marry her that badly that you blame me for something like that? That whore was not right for you. You are supposed to be married to a much more faithful and gorgeous-looking woman. And before we go looking for a woman like that, we need to get you a job. Let me ask some of my friends for you about jobs in town.
There were plans for me to be hired into the company that Liz owns.
Huh? Liz has her own company?
Yes. Liz is the CEO of her own company. And it's not just any old company, but one that's been on TV plenty of times now because it's so famous. Right now, her company is making huge profits every year, and at the rate it's going, it'll be one of the largest and most well-known companies of all time.
What? That woman? That woman has a company like that?
How hard do you think I've been trying to make things work with her in order to get myself a job within that company? She's a beautiful woman, and has been on tons of magazines and in all kinds of shows on TV. I was finally going to be able to marry a woman like her and then be hired into that company of hers. Then I would have never had to worry or complain about life again.
I'm sorry, Adam. I didn't know anything about all of that at the time.
And also, Mom, I have a feeling that you're getting pretty close to using all of Dad's money up by now, right? Had I been able to get into that company of Liz's, I would have been able to send you money each month. Well, now you've gone and ruined both our lives.
Well, had I known about all of this, I would have never yelled at her or hit her. Why did you never tell your mom about the fact that she owns a really outstanding company or that she was going to hire you?
You think I could tell you that she'd be the one getting me a job?
Hey now, I wouldn't have thought anything of that, Adam.
Well, for right now, all of this is your fault, and I don't think it'll ever not be your fault. Liz has also said that she's going to tell the police about what you did to her. She has a lot of lawyers under her already, ready to help her. So I advise you to get ready for that.
Hey, who are you sided with right now, Adam? To me, it seems you care about her more than your own mother.
I'm on nobody's side right now, Mom. I was really trying to help you by telling Liz not to worry so much about you. But what you did last time was taking things too far, and that's why this is all happening to us. Not only has she broken up with me, but she's also having me leave her penthouse now. I don't have a home anymore, Mom, all because you couldn't control your childish behavior.
Well, you can always come back and live here with me. How does that sound to you? You can come back to your mama and we can both live together again, like old times.
Are you freaking joking, Mom? You think me coming back to you is going to change anything? I know that you don't even care about what I want, Because no matter who I get married to, you'll feel lonely because I'll have my own woman and get jealous again.
I don't ever feel lonely and jealous. I really just want for you to be happy, Adam.
You liar! All you've done so far is ruin any chance of happiness I was ever going to have. I don't want to even talk with you anymore. Mom, I'm cutting all ties with you.
You do that to me? Wait a second, Adam.
Don't you ever try calling or texting me again, all right?
Hey, Liz, I really messed up a lot this time. I never even knew that you had yourself your own company, and a very respectable one at that. So I'm asking you, please get married to Adam for me. Nope, it's not happening. Why not? I'm trying to apologize to you right now after what happened. You can go ahead and tell the police about everything I did to you, all right? That's totally fine. But I'll only let you do that if you go ahead and marry Adam. Please. You must have heard all about this from Adam, then. That because of you, we are no longer getting married and he's upset about it? That boy is a jerk for yelling at me like that. Adam is supposed to be a perfect little man to his mother. Well, if he's such a perfect little man to his mother, then he should also be able to find another woman to marry him, right? Wouldn't it be just embarrassing for him to have to marry a used-up whore like me when he's so amazing? I've come to learn that Adam is the only one meant for you, Liz. If he's not able to marry you in the end, then he's really going to go ahead with cutting ties to me. So please, Liz, please just get married to Adam for me like you always wanted. Just a few hours ago, you had sworn to me something, right? That no matter what happened after we talked, I wouldn't be marrying Adam and you wouldn't regret it, right? Wait, you can go ahead and forget about all that. You want to go back on something we swore? Mara, you called me a used-up whore because I ended up getting a divorce from the last man I married. Yet now, after all the crap you'd done and said to me, you want to go back on all you said just to make sure you're not the one coming out on the bottom? No? I'm going to follow through with what I swore on. I mean, I'm a good person after all, so I don't mind never having to think about marrying him again. And just as you've been told by Adam, I'm going to tell the police about you hitting me. I believe now is the best time of all times to start looking for a lawyer who can help you reduce the settlement you'll have to pay me. Why is everything all falling in around me? Well, the reason for that is simple. You judged my character way too soon before giving me a chance and then punched me for it. I did not judge you too soon, Liz, and there are plenty of reasons as for why I thought you were a total waste for him. I mean, you were the one that cheated on your last husband, and that's why he divorced you, right? That's a fact. I had every right to not want my son marrying someone who thought it was okay to cheat when they were married. I have never once in my life cheated on my partner. Then why did he divorce you? It's always been the woman at fault when there's a divorce at stake. To tell you the truth, we never even got a divorce the way you might think. Huh? Then you're telling me that even now you have relations with your ex? You are a whore! No matter how you think of it now, you are the most disgusting woman on this planet. One might even call you a witch for that. My husband passed away 5 years ago due to unfortunate causes. Huh? I never ever cheated on him, nor did he and I ever get a divorce. We both loved one another to the very end, and I still love him to this day. He was not only my husband either, as he helped me with my company a ton, and I thought of him as one of my best business partners. Is that so? Well, I never knew about that. I know that, Mara. And neither did Adam know a thing about that. And that's why the two of you just assumed I had gotten a divorce or something back then. Adam never would listen to the whole story I'd tell him, as he'd always nod off halfway through. And in your case, you never even gave me the chance to tell you. But listen, Liz, I'm on your side now, right? I myself had my husband pass away a little while ago, so I completely sympathize with how you feel right now. I promise that whatever I had said to you before, I take it back and never speak of it again. I don't care about that. The fact that you treated me like total crap and even went as far as hitting me over not liking who you thought I was will never go away. I'm going through with what I told both of you, and that's telling the police about you and breaking up with Adam. Hey now, please! I really did some bad things to you, Liz, but I've learned my lesson now and will never judge you like that again. And you should be learning your lesson after something like this. Are you really never going to find a way to forgive me and let this all go? At this point, it's not about me forgiving you or not forgiving you. You did something you were not supposed to do, no matter the situation, and I'm afraid you might do it again someday. Well, do you even have evidence of me punching you like you said? Excuse me? I'm asking if you even have any evidence of me hitting you like you keep saying I did. No, wait. Repeat that one more time for me, Mara. You said you're going to tell the police about this, right? But I've never once punched you at any point in my life. Mara, is this your attempt at trying to run away from things then? Well, I guess I can't do anything to stop you. I mean, your son is going to pay for this all just as much as you, but you're still only thinking about yourself in the end? I'm asking you to show me what evidence you have of me ever punching you at any time. You must have something, right? You don't? Well, then perhaps it's time you stopped trying to threaten me with such BS. Dang, you really got me this time, Mara. I'm going to assume you saying you learned your lesson was all just a lie to try and save your own skin? Oh, I have learned my lesson, Liz. I should have listened to you a bit more to learn that your husband is in fact dead and you never cheated on him. But I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry over something I never did to you. Well, Mara, when you have to show up to the courtroom and you still act like a smartass, you'll find that there will be nobody there who is willing to listen to your crap. Is that really what you want to do? You really want to keep acting that way, only increasing the amount of repercussions there will be for yourself? The only problem that's occurring right now is you trying to sue me for something I never did. I want you to send me right now the evidence you have of me punching you. All right then, take a look at this video for me. Wait a second, what is that? You were taking a video of that? Actually, my company specializes in selling security and recording goods used for people that want to avoid being falsely accused of anything in the future, or to help them win court cases. And a lot of the things we make happen to be accessories that have small cameras and microphones in them for instances like these. We also dabble in drive recorders and things like that for cars, but our specialty are things much more personal. What? I have footage of you verbally assaulting me at first, all the way to you physically assaulting me. And I also have the audio from that, so everyone in the courtroom will be able to witness it all unfold. But hold on, you said you never laid a finger on me, right? No, this is all made up. This is all fake. Go ahead and claim that, but just know your last effort to try and get away has failed. Isn't this camera amazing? I'd love for you to buy one yourself and give it a try sometime. What is wrong with you? Well then, Mara, I'll be seeing you in court the next time we speak. And I'm now raising the amount I'll ask for in the settlement after what you just tried pulling there. Why? Why are you doing this? I really hope that after the court case, you learn a valuable lesson. Please and thank you. Well, this was all a bunch of fun, right? You almost had me in the first half there, but that punch and your mama's boy son really sealed the deal in making me hate the both of you. That was a close one. Hey, I really am sorry for what happened. I understand that it's really hard to go through life after losing your loved one like that. That's why I always hate hearing these stories about other people leaving the people they thought they loved because one of them cheated. Why do they get to keep their partners and take them for granted, but not us, right? I almost sort of understand what you mean there, but that's not a good enough reason for calling me such horrible things and then punching me. You know that, right? No matter how much you try and get me to feel bad for you or apologize to me, I'm not going to forgive you. Is there really no way for me to show you that I'm really sorry? I'm asking you to please listen to me. If you let me talk about myself a little more, I'm sure you'll understand how I was feeling then. Stop it with all that sobbing, would you? I don't care to listen to your useless sob story and waste all my time. After that, I went ahead and blocked Mara's number and everything. Adam tried relentlessly to get me to rethink what I was doing, but I cannot trust him anymore as the person he is, and so I totally ignored him. I kicked Adam out of my penthouse, and then I myself moved out of there into a smaller home more fit for a single woman like me. A little while after that, there was a court case against Mara, and like I said to her, it was all an easy win for me. She really tried her hardest to use the fact that her husband had died as a way to make her look as though the stress that caused her to hit me was not her fault, but nobody bought that. And it didn't help that I showed the jury screenshots of what she had said to me about having not even punched me in the first place, which only helped dig her an even deeper hole to end up in. By the time she realized that everyone in the courtroom had heard enough of her sob story and BS, she sat down and all the life in her face just drained away. I was able to get a lot of money from her in the settlement, and will be waiting for that money to come to me. Adam has totally cut ties to his mom now, and whenever she tries to get a hold of him or go out to find him, he never responds to her. There are even rumors going around now that Mara is so lonely not having anyone around her anymore that she'll try stalking Adam to see where he goes next. When it comes to what Adam is doing now, he still was never able to find himself a job, and so he was forced to leave town and start working out in the countryside. With the loss of everyone she thought was close to her, and with most of her husband's money being used up now, I really wonder what Mara's doing with herself now. As for what's happened to myself, I've become a little turned away from the thought of marriage and have now been putting a lot of my time into the work I do within my company. Even now, my company is making bank, and I'm working to only expand the company even more for the sake of ramping up production. And until I find myself another man who I think is actually worthy of my time, I'm going to keep treating my work as though it's my partner. And I'll keep doing this all with the thought of my deceased husband being right beside me. Krista, why are you not willing to take this old bag in for us? We only just got married over here, right? Don't you think it's better if you take her and look after her instead of the two of us newlyweds?
Betty, it's been a while. When you said old bag, were you actually referring to my mom?
Who else would I be giving that well-deserved title to? I want you to take over handling this stingy and annoying old freak for us.
Could you stop it with all that horrible name-calling, please? She is my mom, okay?
I could care less about that, Christina. I'm only calling her by who she really is, right? A moneyless old bag. If you don't come over here to get her real soon, I'll have to kick her out of our house.
Betty, are you aware that it is my mom who has been asking to come and live with my older brother? And it's not just her that wants it, but my older brother as well. So you talking about her in that way seems to be you not showing any respect for our family. Is that right? Calling her things like annoying and poor are sorts of things that will make her really upset and might push her to becoming more distant from you.
I'm sure you just want to think of her in the nicest possible way because she was the only person that parented you. But to me, someone who was raised in a family with loads of money, all I can think of her as is a moneyless bag. I feel bad for the poor broad, but having to put up with her is driving me nuts.
You actually feel bad for her? From the way you keep talking about her, I'm not seeing any part of you that actually cares enough about her to be saying such things. It's making me sad to hear all this from you. What about my mom has made you so upset with her that you'd say such rude things?
That old bag is terrible at cooking decent meals for us.
What?
The only thing she can make well is bad food. And when it comes to the clothing she wears, it all looks like secondhand clothing bought at some Salvation Army. Just looking at her style makes me want to vomit.
You're making my mom cook while she's over there? Are you kidding me?
What are you trying to get at? Of course she is. We are the ones allowing her to live here with us, so the least she can do is cook.
No, I feel that if anything, you should be the one cooking for her.
And just be aware that I know about how your whole family has zero spending money because you all had to be raised by a single mother. I feel that just because you don't have the money to support her poor butt, you shouldn't be forcing someone like myself and your older brother to. Especially when just a bit ago, Zach was able to get into a great company. If we didn't have this old worthless bag over here, then we'd have enough money to do all sorts of things we want.
If you have the time to talk trash about my mom behind her back, then how about you go talk to my brother about her instead of me?
Huh? What are you saying? Right now, Zach and I are doing so well together. I have no need for you to tell me how to work my relationship with him.
Well, I'm not trying to control what you both do in your relationship, and if you really are doing well together, that's good to hear. But the way you're talking about my mom right now is not acceptable. You sitting there texting me all these complaints you have about her is not acceptable either, and I will not let you say anything more to me. If you really don't want my mom living over there with you guys anymore, then go tell that to my brother's face, please. Tell me, why are you not able to do that if things between you two are going so well?
Right now, Zach is really happy, believing that I'm great taking care of his mom for him. He buys me all sorts of brand bags and things like that to repay me for it. That's why I'm asking you to take care of this old bag for me. If he were to find out something like me kicking her out, then this whole awesome relationship we have would fall apart.
So this all has to do with you getting the things you want without having to make any sacrifices, huh? Understood. But this is not something I can do anything about. If you really want her to stop living there with you, go talk to your husband about it. And actually, you should really be talking with my mom about this so you can understand her side of the story. I think that she can explain to you that she's not the kind of person you think she is.
I don't get what you're on about. If you don't let me continue having a great relationship with your brother, I'm going to make both you and your mother pay for it.
And if you think that's such a good idea, then I'll make sure you pay for your actions tenfold. Goodbye now.
Krista, that hurricane today was insane, right? There was something funny about it all, though. Would you like to hear about it?
Something funny about it? Well, I'm sure whatever this something may be, it won't come without a price, right?
In the middle of the night, while the hurricane was raging, I sent that moneyless old hag outside. And now this place is all mine. That's why I said before that you should have hurried up and came and gotten that grandma. I wonder how things are going for her now.
You are the worst. That house is supposed to be like a home to my mom. But you took it from her without even asking.
I'm telling you right now that you need to take care of that moneyless old bag, all right? You and her can get along, both agreeing on things like not having any money or time to have fun.
I can see you're having a ball saying all that stuff about her, but if my brother were to find out about this, what do you think might happen?
You go ahead and let him know what happened, all right? Tell him that it wasn't my fault and that your mom chose to leave the house all by herself in the middle of the night. Make sure you tell her exactly what I said, word for word. You wouldn't want to ruin the most amazing relationship your older brother has with me, right? We have no need for someone in this house who doesn't have any money to share. I wanted this house for myself, so I tossed your mom out into the hurricane to find her way somewhere else.
If you're talking about my mom as though she's lost out there, you have it all wrong. She's with my brother and I at her condo.
What?
You are really the most stupid woman in Florida.
What do you mean by that? What's going on here? What condo are you talking about?
My mom happens to have a condo that she frequents every so often. And soon Zach will be coming back here as well.
Huh? A condo? I don't get it. Have you completely lost your mind now, too?
Ah, that's right. You probably never knew about the condo she holds on to, right? Well, it so happens that my mom has a lot of properties that you probably know nothing about. And to be honest, she's come from a life of fortune that probably even you could never fathom. That's how rich my mom is.
What? She has a lot of properties. What? I have no idea what you're trying to talk to me about right now.
I'm sure you don't, and I'm sorry about that. Lowlifes like you wouldn't have the mental capacity to understand what it's like being rich, right? I'm sure this is all a bit too difficult for you. Well, you not being able to understand what it's like to have money is none of my problem.
Wait, can you please explain this in a way I can understand? Tell me what the hell has happened.
My mom was only living in that house with you two because she wanted to live with my brother. But she was kicked out of that house last night, and so she invited me to come out and live with her for a while at her condo.
I never heard about her owning any condos.
And I can see that now. But we never told you about them in the first place. We didn't want you getting all nervous about my mom having all that money and all her properties. So we decided to make things more comfortable for you by not saying anything about it. We just wanted to make it seem simple, and that's why we said my brother wanted her to come live with them, and she wanted to live with him as well. And she was hoping to have a close relationship with you as well there. But instead, it turns out that you're a terrible person, and because of that, you made yourself look bad in front of her. All she was trying to do was make things less complicated for you. Yet you took all that the wrong way and forced her out.
Make things less complicated for me? What does that even mean?
You can think about that one yourself. But in the end, you kicked her out of the house in the middle of a hurricane. And I went there to get her with my car, and we both went back to her condo and are having a party right now to celebrate being free from you. All our family and friends are here too, having a wonderful time, so please don't come over ruining it for us. And you don't have to worry about her anymore, because she's already made it clear to us that she'll never live around you again.
What the heck? Are you for real? Your mom had a condo and you're all partying right now? This all makes zero sense to me, but you're telling me that an old hag like her that buys clothing from a secondhand store has all that?
She was only wearing that clothing to make you feel better around her. You really should be thankful that she did that for you.
So you're telling me that your mom really has a lot of money, right? Yet she just acted like she was poor while she lived with us?
It's not like she was trying to lie to you or anything. She just didn't want to stress you with thinking that she required more from you than you could give.
Are you trying to say that I'm poor or something?
I'm not trying to say it all that straight, but well, if you compare your life with the one my mom lives, you are pretty poor. But even after my mom tried to be nice to you by not acting all rich and snobby, you still acted out and treated her like she was the poor one, which we all understand very well now.
Huh? No. Wait a second. If you're really telling the truth about her having lots of money, then this is a totally different story. I didn't know at the time that she had all that money and all those properties under her name. I was just being fair with her by saying that she was a poor old bag because of the way she dressed and acted.
And that right there was way too thoughtless of you. Her being poor and without a lot of money didn't have anything to do with you being her daughter-in-law. She just wanted things to be about being a family, and that's it. She really wanted to become good family with you, and that was her only goal. However, instead of becoming friends with you, all she received was earfuls of you calling her horrible things all the time.
Wait, that wasn't what I had planned on doing.
Well, at this point, we are all aware that you're not the kind of person who is willing to be open-minded towards others. And since my mom is the most aware of that, she no longer needs to be around you. So with all that being said, we'd like you out of that house.
Huh? Why would I be the one to leave this house now? This is supposed to be our house.
Come on! You understand by now that you have no right to that house now, right? My brother will most likely be talking to you about this later, but that house is under my mom's name.
Huh? Are you sure?
So you really didn't know about that either then. My mom didn't want to say anything to you because all you do is talk trash about her. Either way, my mom was letting the two of you live in that house as a present from her for your wedding.
Huh? I didn't know anything about that either. I just assumed that Zach had bought this place with his own money.
My brother only just got his first job working full-time. So do you really think he'd have the ability to afford a place like that? I'm just saying that place is not yours to live in, and so my mom will have you kicked out of there very soon if you don't leave willingly. She had hopes of one day giving that place to you guys and having her name removed, but I don't think she will be doing that for either of you guys now.
She won't give us this house? Huh?
She's telling me that as long as you're with my brother, she's not even going to continue to help him with the loan.
Huh? Loan?
Well, like I said, my brother only just started his first full-time job, and so he doesn't have the income to get his own loan yet. So in order to help him have a house for the two of you, or I suppose 3 of you, could live in. She got a loan and helps him pay it off with some of her wealth.
I didn't even know about that part. What does all of this mean then? Are you trying to say that he doesn't have the income right now to afford the place?
Well, like I've said, he's very fresh to this world of business and working. You really had no clue about anything regarding him, huh? Honestly, I'm sure you were told all of this before, but you didn't want to understand it, so you just ended up ignoring him, right?
If his mom ends up stopping the help with that loan, what'll happen to us?
Well, you both will no longer be able to pay it off in time, and things will begin to fall apart there, right? She really tried her best to give Zach everything as well. But it's all because of his own wife that your lives will fall apart.
Krista? This time was a little... Well, this time I was just a little confused about things, and I'm sorry if that hurts you in any way. But right now, I understand everything completely, all right? So can we get back to becoming a happy family together again, right?
Get back to?
Can you tell your mom that she's allowed to come back home to our house now? Actually, let her know that I'll be coming to her condo. I think I should get some things together now to spend the night there, right? I'm sure you're all fine now with me coming to that party, right?
Really? Nice joke, Betty. You almost had me believing all of that as well for a bit.
Huh? Why are you saying that?
It's a little too late for you to act all happy and upbeat about what's happened. Mom has already told us she no longer wants to have any ties to you. And I thought that was implied by everything I was telling you this whole time. There is no longer going to be a day where she wants to be in your company. Honestly, you'll never even be hearing from her again, Betty.
What? Hold on, okay? So, does this really mean I'm going to have to leave this house? If I get tossed out of here, I'll be in real trouble. And if she were to cause some kind of trouble for Zach, do you know what that might do to our marriage?
That's not something I care about. This is all because of the way you treated my mom, right? To break it to you in the most straight way possible, the way you've acted has made an enemy of my mom. And I had warned you of that sooner, right? I asked that you no longer talk poorly of my mom and maybe go chat with her about all your complaints.
Then you should have just told me about all of this instead of letting me continue.
Huh? I'm not your freaking parent.
But you could have at least told me she was loaded, and then none of this would have happened. I would have never said anything bad about her after that, and we could all be living our dreams right now.
The fact that you only change your attitude from good to bad based on someone else's money shows me that you're just the scummiest person on the planet. You think I want you to be around my mom when you're that kind of monster?
Krista, this is getting really bad. I'm getting call after call from Zach right now. Does he already know about what happened to your mom?
Well, he just arrived a couple of minutes ago and my mom explained everything to him. He became very, very red in the face and then stormed upstairs saying he'd give you a call.
You're lying, right? That means I'm completely screwed now.
Exactly. You always liked making everyone else have to deal with your crap. But it seems this time all that crap is coming for you. Well, that's all I have to say about things. You are done for, Betty. Now, I'd answer the next call from him if I were you. The woman that you kept calling a moneyless old bag? Well, that's going to be you in the next 10 years or so. You idiot! In the end, Zach found out all about the things that Betty had been up to and told her that he wanted a divorce. He also told her that his mom would have the house sold back to the bank and that they'd all be moving out, so she had no choice but to leave. Betty tried going to her mother-in-law about all of this and begged for forgiveness, but everyone in the family had had enough of her and ignored all her pleas. Betty ended up kicked out of the house by the bank and was not able to go back home to her parents, which cut ties to her, leaving her to live life on the road. Had she only been a bit nicer to those she knew little about, she'd be having the time of her life living with enough money to keep her entertained. Even Krista's mom was thinking so much about becoming close to her daughter-in-law that she was getting ready to give them one of her condos as a place to spend their time off. But that idea was quickly crushed by Betty being such a miserable person. I guess it's a good thing this all happened to my mom, because we learned far sooner that Betty was nothing more than a self-centered child deep inside, and that a condo wouldn't fit that kind of personality. Now, Betty is stuck working as a factory worker, breaking down tuna and canning them, all for minimum wage at around 60 hours per week. She does this from sunrise to sunset, all while thinking about how badly she screwed up by acting like a complete child to her in-laws. I'm sure it's really tough for her now, but this is what she deserves to help her realize to be nice to strangers. As for the rest of the family, they have all gone back to living their lives as normal. Krista is back at her place getting back to work and living her life as she always has, and Zach has gone back with his mom to her condo with all his and her things to live there for a while until he has enough money saved up for his own house. I feel bad that this all happened to Zach, really, as he didn't do anything wrong to deserve losing the gift that his mother gave him. But I'm sure that somewhere down the line she'll be willing to help him again with another gift.
Christine, I heard that you found yourself a new man to be engaged to. I bet you're so proud of yourself for getting there with him. As always, you are able to come out on top. What kind of man is he? I'm your best friend, so you should be willing to introduce him to me sometime soon.
It's been a long time, Gina. You do understand that I have no want to show my fiancé to you, right? Have you already forgotten what you did to me the last time that would make me feel this way?
Are you still complaining about what happened so long ago? That happened so far in the past that I've totally forgotten what happened in the first place.
Well, I have not forgotten what happened, and I never planned to let go of what happened to me because of you.
But it doesn't really matter anymore to anyone, right? You're going to be getting married soon here, right? So you can go ahead and forget about what happened to your last fiancé and move on. Having to drag that unneeded weight with you throughout your life is only going to slow you down.
I have forgotten about my last fiancé, but I will never forget about how my once best friend stole my fiancé right from my hands.
Ah, so this is about all that then. Well, in my case, all of that happened so long ago that my memory of it is really vague. But you should consider yourself lucky for finding a new man willing to marry you. So what kind of man is he?
I told you that I don't plan on introducing him to you, right? Now goodbye, Gina.
Well, do as you please. If you're going to try and keep him away from me, I guess I'll go look for him myself.
What do you mean you'll go looking for him? What the heck are you up to? I don't think he's the kind of man you should be going out looking for. So can you stop talking like you've gone mad and just leave me and my fiancé alone? I've had enough of you in my life after what you pulled last time, and I'm still pretty speechless from the day I found out. So don't expect to be hearing from or seeing me again.
Even if you don't plan to deal with me anymore, I want to meet your fiancé. If I just apologize to you about the past, will you forgive me and let me come see him?
I'll forgive you as long as you promise to never come around me and my fiancé. How does that sound? That probably wouldn't stop you, so I won't forgive you. Now goodbye.
I'm assuming that you got the invitation to my upcoming wedding, correct? Isn't this just crazy? Did you take a look at it yet?
Yeah, I did take a quick look at it.
How does it feel, Christine? How does it feel to have lost yet another one of your fiancés to me?
I have to say, I never thought you could stoop even lower than you had and do the same crap to me again. But aren't you jumping the gun on that marriage a little too quick? Are you sure it's okay for you to be getting ready to marry him when you've only known him for a few weeks? What I'm trying to ask is, do you really know what kind of man you've just stolen from me?
Him and I both have a burning love for one another, and that's why we want to get married now. Is this what they call a destined marriage? Right now, I'm in his arms, and he's never going to let go of me because we love each other so much, Christine.
You said that the last time you stole my fiancé, Gina. But that time, you and my ex immediately learned that you didn't really love one another and broke up, right?
Well, he turned out to be a pretty boring man after all. But since then, it's been 2 years and I'm turning 30 soon. I've really been wanting to become someone's wife. So I told myself that the next man I get, I'm keeping. So this is all working out perfectly for me. I was able to get a pretty good-looking man from you this time.
Able to get him from me, huh? You were always aiming for him the moment you noticed I had a new fiancé, right? I don't think you just luckily got him from me without any effort.
No matter what you have to say about how I find my men, you're still the one without a lover. He has chosen me and chosen to leave you so that we can get married. And we have both agreed to make that marriage very soon. So no matter how hard you try to get him back from me, it's all going to be for nothing because he's already in my arms for good.
Going to be for nothing, huh? At this point, I'd rather let you have him.
And that's because you're too depressed to fight for him. And I can understand why you're depressed. You were bragging in front of everyone about your fiancé, saying that it was about time you planned to get married. But now he's gone, stolen away by your better-looking friend. And we're going to live the life you wish you could.
Gina, why have you chosen to talk to me today? Does you sending me this invitation to your wedding mean that you actually want me to come to it?
Well, you are my best friend after all.
What? Since when have I been your best friend recently?
I would be happy to have my very depressed and loser of a friend at my wedding to give a speech for me and me fiancé.
You really are the worst.
Will you not do it? I really want a loser like you giving the speech that day. I'm your best friend after all, so that should be all right, right?
Right now, I don't think of you as my best friend. And I'm sure you only want me there on stage so that you can make fun of me in front of everyone. I know about what you plan to do with me when I get there, and I don't want in on it.
I'm not planning to use you as the laughing stock or anything. Rather, I just think it would be fun time. I want to make sure that everyone at my wedding is entertained, and your speech would help us out a lot with that. And I'd like to take the chance to explain to everyone just how fun it was stealing your fiancé from you. Now, I'm going to have this wedding whether you like it or not, so just come and give that speech for me.
Fine, leave it to me.
You're such a great friend, Christine.
I'll make sure to be there on the day of your wedding, and I'll make sure that I'm completely prepared to give a great speech.
And that's the reason right there as to why you're my best friend. I'll be looking forward to the speech, okay?
But in exchange for me coming and giving that speech, can I bring a +1?
Huh? Who do you plan on bringing to my wedding?
I plan to have a very important person come along with me. That should be fine with you, right? You don't even have to worry about them having a seat there or not, as they'll only stay for a short bit. That okay with you?
An important person? You only just had your fiancé stolen from you by your best friend, so who else could be there left to call an important person to you? Are you trying to impress everyone around you again? Well, go ahead and bring whoever that person is. It would be lonely for you to have to come by yourself as the biggest loser after all. I'll be waiting to see what poor sap you drag along.
Perfect. Now I'm really looking forward to that wedding of yours.
Where the hell did you go? You just made my wedding into a mess and ran off like that? Right now, they are considering having this whole wedding put off after what you did. What the hell was up with that introduction?
What do you mean, what was up with it? I was just telling everyone the truth.
No freaking way you were telling the truth. I want to know who the hell that handsome man was. Why was he with you?
I only just told everyone who he was, right? Why are you not willing to believe what I said?
I'm sure that you just paid that handsome man to be your man for the day to show off, right? You brought him with you with the sole purpose of making me jealous.
I'm sure that you know the truth and are just trying to make up excuses in your head at this point, right? But what I told you and everyone else today was the truth. And that speech I gave was just to let everyone know the big secret. But you could also say that today was the day I finally got my revenge on you for what you did to me. Well, it's all over with now, and I've had my fun, so you can relax now as I'm no longer going to do anything to you.
There's no way you thought that you just got married to that man. You're lying. And what is this about the man I stole from you being a stalker that's been following you around for ages? Saying that in front of all our guests about my husband is extremely rude.
I'm sorry for that, but it's the truth. He's been stalking me for over 3 months now, and now he seems to have taken a greater liking into you. I'm so glad that you went looking for him, because now he will no longer be my problem.
How could you make me so embarrassed in front of all my guests, though? I still believe that what you told today is all lies, but everyone out there doesn't know that yet, and they have started to believe you. I'm so freaking embarrassed.
Well, to my husband and I, seeing you freak out like that in front of everyone over my speech was so amusing that I almost peed in my dress giving that speech. I really did a number on you today. And not only did my husband and I get a good laugh in, but my revenge is now complete.
Do you have any freaking idea what the hell you've done by giving such a bullcrap speech like that in front of everyone, though? You get back here right now and tell everyone here that you lied to them. If you don't do it right now, I'll never forgive you.
I don't need you to forgive me, Gina. I have never been wanting anything from you this whole time, actually. I just wanted to make you as embarrassed as possible today, and I think I did a great job of that. And the fact that you married that stalker really has made me so happy.
Stop with all that crap right now. Do you not have a freaking heart, Christine? Why would you do something like this to someone?
You think that I'm the one without a heart? Okay.
Huh?
Do you have the right to be saying that I'm heartless after what you did to me? In reality, that man is nothing more than a stalker of mine, but you went after and stole him only because you believed he was my fiancé, right?
And so freaking what?
You see? The only thing that sat where your heart should be is a rotting pile of anger and jealousy. And this was your second time doing that to me, right? The first time you did this, I already knew you were heartless and chose to cut my ties with you. But you did end up apologizing to me for that eventually, and so I let it go for a while after. However, this time you did it again. And had that man actually been my fiancé, you would have scarred me 2 times. That is completely messed up, Gina. When you contacted me the first time saying that you wanted me to introduce that stalker to you, I already knew what you were planning to do.
But I didn't think that by doing this my whole wedding would be ruined. And if it so happens that what you're saying is true about this Brad guy, then that means he really isn't your fiancé, right?
Well, I did say that he wasn't, right? But the fact that you still went after him and married him is wild to me. Well, it's totally fine with me that you took him away from me because all he caused me was trouble by constantly following me around. You really failed at your goal this time, but as for me, I was very lucky to have you come at me for seconds.
I cannot believe this. Are you sure that everything you said today in that speech is true? I do not want to believe you for a second, but...
Well, if you don't want to believe me, then who am I to care? To be honest, it's probably better that you look away from the truth and keep believing the lies you tell yourself.
This isn't about me believing in some lies or not.
I made sure to lure him out behind me so that you'd run into him thinking he was my fiancé. And it just so happens that you did what I expected you to do. And look at that. You both fell in love with one another, and that's a win for everyone, right? And as for the speech, I made it very entertaining and had a lot of fun giving it, so you should be happy.
Wait, Christine, Brad is telling me right now that he doesn't have a job yet.
Huh? I thought I made his situation very clear to you. At this point, even he's telling you the same thing I said, so he has to be telling you the truth.
And he said that before he did have a liking for you, but that he now is totally invested in me, even going so far as to look up everything about me. What he's saying about me right now is really scary.
Well, that's the type of creepy stalker that he is. Before he used to work for an investigation agency, but he was fired from there for using the tools they had to look into younger women and learn about where they lived and such. So after becoming unemployed, he used what he learned to continue doing what he does, and that's stalking. Unfortunately, he lived in the apartment next to mine for a while and began to really become attached to me and follow me everywhere. But soon he couldn't afford that apartment anymore and moved out. However, he still knew where I lived and where I'd go. Luckily, he's on to you now, and you've just married him, making his job of stalking you way easier.
You have to be freaking joking. So he's pretty much learned everything he needs about me?
Isn't that just great, though? You have finally found someone that loves you so much and was willing to marry you. And with him watching your every move now, you'll never be able to cheat or get a divorce from him. Have a wonderful life, the two of you.
He doesn't have a job and will expect me to support him now? If I'd known that he was this kind of person, I wouldn't have forced us to get married so quickly. I thought that when you started to brag about your man so much, this was the man you were talking about. This is the worst, Christine.
Well, whether you feel that this is the worst or not, I wasn't the one that forced you to start dating Brad and choose to marry him. So if you're going to try and blame me for this, good luck. In the end, you were the one that made the choice to take him away from me and then marry him and get yourself into the position you're in now.
He told me that he'd pay for this whole wedding after we got married even. But now he's telling me that he has nothing in his savings. What should I do about all of this? Making me pick up such a creepy man.
Making you pick him up? You were the one that went after him, right? Well, you yourself are a very crappy woman, so the two of you will get along very well together. Must suck to finally learn that the man you went out of your way to steal, thinking that he was my fiancé, has turned out to be a stalker of mine, and in no way my fiancé. And another thing, the way you ended up finding out about me having a fiancé in the first place was because I told my friend to purposefully start telling you about him in hopes that you'd come to steal that stalker away.
Huh? Why would you go out of your own way to tell me that?
Well, it has to do with the fact that you went and stole my ex from me before, so I thought that using Brad as bait for you to fall into my trap would be a great move on my part. And man, did you fall into my trap perfectly, and you ended up taking my stalker away as well.
What the hell? I knew it. I knew that you did this to me.
Well, I never thought that you'd jump to marry him this fast, and was hoping that you'd at least learn who he was before tying the knot. So don't blame all of that on me. You were the one that said yes to marrying him, right? And now you've gotten to learn that he is indeed a stalker and has no money to his name at the moment.
What?
And he's currently in debt, actually. And I learned that from someone who's worked with him. And so you can believe him when he says he has nothing. I'm sure that he feels like a winner right now because he found himself a woman that will take care of all his needs and pay off his debt.
You have to be freaking kidding me. Brad is in debt as well?
He sure is. He's in debt and is a huge stalker, so congrats! And now you're going to have to pay for that whole wedding all by yourself. And I hope you look forward to a life of having to support your husband with your paychecks.
This is so messed up. At this point, there's no meaning to this marriage.
Well, you've been waiting to get married and we're looking for a man, right? You should be jumping with joy right now since you finally have your husband. I wish you both the best as you start a new life together. But I'm sure to you, this will be the start of your life in hell. Gina ended up asking Brad about what all Kristen was saying, and he told Gina that she was in fact telling the truth about him and their situation. Gina was furious to hear this from even him and told him that they would be getting a divorce right away. But Brad was not having it and said he didn't want anything to do with leaving her. Looking at it from the outside, you can see that Gina really did end up doing it to herself and would not be able to run away from Brad easily. And as for Gina's parents who were at the wedding, they were embarrassed about what they learned about her and ended up disowning her after the wedding and cutting ties. Well, Gina really did do a great job screwing herself and would now get to experience what hell is really like. But this is all what she deserves for being such a rotten woman, and I'm sure there will be nobody coming to help save her. As for Kristen and her husband, they were able to go on their honeymoon after they finished what they needed to do at Gina's wedding. Kristen also made sure to block Gina's phone number in order to make sure that Gina would never become a problem for her again. Of course, this may not stop her from coming to Kristen's apartment, but soon her and her husband will be moving into a new home together, and by then Gina will lose her only way of getting to Kristen. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.